The Jenson Button dilemma. Was he underappreciated? I mean, the guy won a World Drivers' title in a team that only existed for a single season. Or is he overrated? A bit of a wasted talent, because he was rumored to, at least in his younger days, prefer ladies and booze to taking his racing super seriously.
Single guy, bit of a party animal.
Yeah, I was, yeah, you're right.
Bit of a player.
Yeah, I was. No, I don't know about that one.
So let's have a look at his complete record in Formula 1 to start off with. Active years 2000 to 2017. Holy cow.
Holy cow!
He was around forever, wasn't he? Okay, not Kimi and Alonso for you, but still, he was around for 17 years. Teams, he raced for Williams, Benetton, Renault, British American Racing, Honda, Brawn, McLaren. Yes, he drove for everyone except Ferrari. I don't know why. Maybe the little horsies never fancied Mr. Button. Entries 309, 306 starts. Yes, 3 times he somehow didn't start. Championships won in 2009. Wins 15. Podiums 50. Career points 1,235. And that of course was with a different rule set to the one currently in use. The points were worth less. Well, there were less points on offer. Pole positions only 8 and fastest laps also only 8. It's a bit disappointing. Now, that's not half bad on face value. He won a bit, spent enough time on the podium to claim squatters' rights, and finished up driving the worst car McLaren had ever built. So why then even claim that he was possibly a wasted talent? Well, when Frank Williams signed him, he was seen as a special little boy. And for quite a few years, he kinda sorta sucked a little bit, being beat by decent but not brilliant drivers like Ralf Schumacher and Giancarlo Fisichella in his first 2 seasons. As F1fansite.com puts it, and I quote, "When he first entered the sport back in 2000, much was expected of the then 20-year-old. He had just become the youngest ever driver in the sport's history. However, contract disputes, off-the-track distractions, and a series of mediocre cars didn't allow the Somerset-born Englishman to show his undoubted talent." Now, of course, that youngest driver thing brings immediate comparisons to Max Verstappen. And, of course, Button did not reach the same levels as Supermax has already reached. But I digress. Of course, he was seen as mediocre until he joined BAR. Things have changed a lot in terms of advertising. BAR, owned by British American Tobacco, basically a moving advertisement campaign for cancer sticks. But I digress again. The man who is named after something that closes your shirt or pants arrived at Team Tobacco and beat former champ Jacques Villeneuve as teammate. Then in 2004 he scored 85 points in a time, as I said earlier, you got less points per position than now. Finishing 3rd behind the Ferraris and not winning a race though. Of course, the car would then suck the next season. Honda bought them and sold them again to Brawn, which led to that season. Button scored 3 points in 2008. He won the title with 100 points 1 year later in 2009. He almost joined Red Bull B, called Toro Rosso for 2009, but things didn't pan out. 3 points to 100. That maybe is the best comparison in Jenson Button's career. He could have everything go smack in his face, and the next season he would win the title. Brawn became Mercedes and they wanted the champ to stay on. Next to Nico, I beat Lewis Hamilton in equal machinery in 2016, Rosberg. Button left though, and would battle it out with Hamilton over at McLaren. Interestingly, Button ended up with more points than Hamilton as a teammate over 3 seasons at McLaren. He challenged for titles and won races, but his time as a top Formula 1 contender was coming to a close. Button comfortably beat Sergio Perez and K-Mag as they came and left as McLaren teammates when Lewis went over to Team Toto. Alonso joined him, but the car was slower than the South African government is when fixing potholes, or electricity shortages, or, well, anything. Let's just say the car of the South African government really sucked. And that was that. Button was done in Formula 1. Does that make Jenson Button overrated or underappreciated? Let's answer with another question. Is James Hunt either of these things? I think not. And similarly, I do not believe Jenson Button is. Button came, did his thing, and if reports are to be believed, enjoyed himself thoroughly while doing so. Could he have done more? Well, he did win a world title, which is more than a guy like Coulthard could say, and he was pretty decent. And Button got the better of a driver seen by many as the greatest of all time, when Hamilton's teammate. That does not sound like a wasted talent to me. And that's the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, click that subscribe button, ring the bell, and please come back again. We've got new stuff coming out every week. God bless and goodbye.